We're excited to have with us today Michael Meléndrez, who is a business operator right here in our area, in the Los Lunas area, with a group called Soil Secrets. Michael, good to have you with us today on Spectrum.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me here.
We're looking forward to learning some things today. Now, I love the name of your company, Soil Secrets. I'm hoping that he's here to tell us a few of the soil secrets of the day. But tell us, how did you get your start? I understand that it didn't start necessarily in the soil business, but in other areas.
Well, I started off in my youth wanting to study horticulture and plants and the great outdoors, and so that's what I started at. But I had a professor tell me in college that I was going to end up watering plants at a Kmart and should probably study something else.
Oh my
wow.
goodness!
What an encourager he was, huh?
And so I changed my degree and went off in a different direction. I was an athlete at the time, so I was very interested in human performance and, you know, how does the body work and what makes the muscle grow stronger and all that kind of stuff. So I decided that I would study human physiology and sports medicine. And but eventually I drifted back into the world of horticulture and plants and the great outdoors. And thankfully, I had a lovely father, Sam Meléndrez, who was a farmer, very passionate man, who encouraged me to begin a nursery, and he actually provided some funding to help me do it, and assistance. He worked very hard by my side. Wonderful opportunity. So I became a nurseryman back in the 1980s.
And his knowledge too of running the business, knowing what to do.
His knowledge and his inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, years ago, when I was about 13 years old, I was wanting to compete in the 4-H contest here in New Mexico. You know, animal judging, soil judging, etc. And my father took me all over the farms in the Mesilla Valley, Las Cruces.
Yep. That's where my family's from, is Las Cruces.
He knew all the farmers down there. He was the John Deere guy.
Oh, wow.
In addition to being a farmer, he was the John Deere guy. And we went around and looked at soil. And so he taught me how to distinguish between the different textures of soil, sand, silt, clay, loam, etc. And to calculate the percentages of each of those by just looking at it and feeling it. Wow. And while we were doing this, we were down on our hands and knees digging a hole in the ground on the Tashiro farm, and right there by close to Mayfield High School. And my dad scoops up a handful of dirt and looks at it and goes, "You know, Michael, everything that we do in farming is wrong, and it destroys this.
Wow.
We have to learn how to do it differently."
Wow, that's a powerful statement.
It had such a profound effect on me that I ended up winning the state soil judging contest that year, beating out kids that were 4 or 5 years older than I am. But I became fascinated about soils and have been at it ever since.
Now, you sometimes make this statement. You said this to me earlier, that you've been involved in a dirty business and a shady business. So tell us about, what does that really mean? That's kind of catchy, but I'm sure it has a meaning to it.
We grow shade at Trees That Please, which is a retail nursery in Los Lunas. We're unique in the respect in that we're not just a retail store. We actually grow many of the native trees of the Southwest from seed, and I personally go out each year and collect that seed from the wild. Okay. And so we grow these beautiful native trees. Most people don't know that we have many native trees. But
Tell us what are some of those brands?
Well, for example, you know, Albuquerque has a history of using trees native to other parts of the world where there's a lot of rainfall, and we don't have a lot of rainfall in Albuquerque. So today we see our urban forest of Albuquerque in serious decline because people are trying to conserve water, but as a result the trees are dying. Well, in New Mexico we have many species of hardwoods that live where there isn't much rain. And for example, the chinkapin oak, it's a beautiful hardwood tree, grows as large as any ash tree will grow, grows fast. And in fact, if you drive down Silver between Buena Vista and Presbyterian Hospital, every single tree growing on Silver came from me in 2004.
Oh, okay, so
they were planted,
visual of what you can do.
They were planted as small trees in 2004 when that neighborhood was redeveloped, and now they are large trees providing much beauty. Chinkapin oak is one of them. The Chisos red oak is another. There's many. There's probably 20 to 30 different kinds of native trees that are worthy of cultivation. and we grow them at Trees That Please. I have under cultivation at any given time over 100,000 trees.
Oh my goodness.
Do you just do trees, or do you have other things like for your yard where you have xeriscate, but you still like something
we grow
nice?
Cactus, we grow yucca, we offer seasonal vegetables, chili plants, tomato plants, okra, the whole works. I probably sell as many flats of 4 packs of chili plants as anybody in the city. And we also do ornamental shrubs, flowering shrubs, rose bushes, all that stuff. The only thing that we don't do is we don't sell fertilizers.
I was going to say, what makes you unique? And is that the point, that you don't sell fertilizers?
We don't sell fertilizers. We sell biomimicry. That moves into the dirty business of soils.
Okay.
So, we believe in redeveloping the ecology of the soil. If the ecology of the soil is healthy, and this involves a biology, a geology, and a chemistry process.
Okay.
And so if we can get that process back in place, then we don't need very much water.
Boy, that's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
That's exciting.
I have farmers in all over the country, including the largest pecan grower in the world, using this technology now from us. And we're able to reduce the amount of irrigation water by as much as 50 to 70%.
Wow.
When you fix the soil.
That is amazing.
Yep.
What's exciting to me is that it's not just available to your retailers.
We are actually growing into a bigger agribusiness than we are a tree nursery. We started off as a tree nursery, and from that evolved the soil business called Soil Secrets. And Soil Secrets has actually been discovered both in the world of agriculture, but also in the world of mine reclamation. And so we're used a lot by some of the largest mining companies in the United States to reclaim their mines. After they're done mining, they have to go in and fix the site. And sometimes they're dealing with some pretty horrible situations, but we have the biology and the chemistry to fix even the most horrible situation.
Now, you mentioned some very large growers of pecans. I think you mentioned pistachios maybe as well. All right, so you think of these growers, do they grow in moist areas? Do they grow in arid areas? I mean, you're talking about being able to save 50 to 70% of the water needed. Does that open up new territories?
It does. It does open new territories. Traditionally, the big pecan farmers were in Georgia and Texas and places where it rains a lot, and the pecan orchards were in the valleys where there was ample water. And then it moved into New Mexico, like in the Mesilla Valley, where they had lots of water because they could flood irrigate. But today, even the Mesilla Valley doesn't have a lot of water. Elephant Butte is at 10% of its capacity, and that doesn't look like it's going to get better anytime soon. So everybody is having to ration water carefully. But pecan growing has actually moved into the desert. And for example, FICO planted 35,000 more trees in January using our molecular biology in the desert of southeastern Arizona.
And if you've traveled through southeastern Arizona, you know that there's not a lot of water there.
It's desert, and they're having to pump very expensive water from deep out of the ground, so they have to make sure they meter the use of that water carefully. And but using Soil Secrets, they can do that.
So if someone's never used it before, is there a process to convert, or you just add what you have?
Stop using fertilizers.
Okay.
And don't ever buy soil acidifiers. We have alkaline soils here, and there are lots of products that are designed to make the soil more acid, but you don't need to do that.
Okay.
Alkaline soils are fine. You can grow a lot of things on an alkaline soil. Pretty much anything we want to grow here, we can grow on an alkaline soil.
Okay.
Our product is very, very simple to use. You sprinkle it on the ground, you water it in. That's all you do.
Okay.
And it can be purchased. You don't necessarily have to drive all the way to Los Lunas.
Okay.
My nursery isn't that far away, but if you don't want to drive to Los Lunas, it can be purchased here in the Albuquerque
Where can people find it?
On South San Mateo, on the corner of San Mateo and Catherine, is a store called AHL. Stands for Albuquerque Hydroponic and Lighting. And you can buy it there. Also, over by the Journal Center on Paseo del Norte, there's another store called All Seasons Gardening.
I've seen those.
And it can be purchased
closer
there.
to the studios. I think I've driven past those folks.
So just go in there and ask for the Soil Secrets product called Terra Pro and Protein Crumblies. There's two products. They go together. It's kind of like epoxy glue, you know.
Okay.
Yep,
Epoxy glue, you got two products.
That's right. Without one, the other doesn't work.
That's right. You got to use both of them.
Okay.
Interesting stuff.
And in Santa Fe, it can also be purchased. The All Seasons Gardening Store in Santa Fe carries it.
Good.
Wonderful.
Well, I appreciate you mentioning that because we do have viewers in the Santa Fe area as well. Well, we've learned, I hope you have too, from Michael Meléndrez today, talking about soil secrets. And of course, they have your nursery is located in Los Lunas. Give us the name of that again.
It's called Trees That Please.
Okay.
You can look it up on the internet, treesthatplease.org.
And you grow your own trees.
And we grow our own trees. It's right across the street from the Tomei Hill. On Good Friday, there were tens of thousands of people that walked up Tomei
So people
Hill.
might have seen them on Friday.
That's right. That's right.
Excellent. Great to meet you today, Michael. Thank you for the great
Thank you for
information.
being here.